be a scary time for your pet.
And Dr. Joel Conn joins us this morning from the Pismo Beach Veterinary Clinic, and you're talking about how to make it a little bit safer for your pets during this time of the year.
Yeah, 4th of July is a tough holiday for pets sometimes, and I think the main thing is looking at some of these safety tips we have. If you don't take anything else home today, the main message I would take home is plan ahead. Talk to your veterinarian, figure out what your plans are for 4th of July. I mean, you should plan ahead anyway for your own plans,
right.
but plan ahead for your pet as well. Because what happens is if you don't, that's when you get into trouble, and that's when your pet gets into danger. So one of the first things, and this may seem obvious, but it's 4th of July, actually the 5th of July is when we see a huge spike in food poisoning and pancreatitis issues, because pets are eating human food. So you want to make sure that you never leave that food unattended. Never leave it unattended. Never leave your drinks unattended either. And make sure that if you have guests over at your house or you're doing some sort of a barbecue with family, that everyone gets a little briefing on what they can and cannot feed your pet. One of the things that has seemed to be helpful for some of our owners that really like to feed human food to their pets. One family member is very against it, but they can't get their grandma to stop doing it. Is you can actually put together little treat baggies and have those in various places. Have that at the dinner table or the picnic table, and so as they're reaching to give something to the pet, they can actually give some pet food instead of human food. And keep this in mind: if you've got a 10-pound dog and you're feeding it a 6-inch hot dog, that's like one of us eating about a 9-foot hot dog. So think about that before you give them a treat next time.
Now, in regards to fireworks, a lot of people are going to be, setting off their fireworks to celebrate the holiday. What should people be aware of in regards to those? So
the big thing is even the most calm dog mostly has phobias against fireworks, and some can be extreme. So one of the first things you can do is identify, is your dog one of those? And once you've owned your dog for a year or so, you get a sense of, are they going to be frightened by loud noises or not? Do they run every time the door slams, for example? If they're one of those dogs, especially if it's a severe case, that's something you may want to work with your veterinarian on. We frequently prescribe mild sedatives, even things like Valium, believe it or not, for pets, to try to help them have a safe and anxiety-free 4th of July. And these are, very safe medications we can use on a one-time basis as needed. The thing with those, again, plan ahead. Make sure that you get that prescription ready to go if that's what your pet needs, and make sure you give it in advance. Most of these medications take a couple of hours to kick in. The other thing is with any medication, you want to try it at home first. Do kind of a dry run, in the weeks preceding 4th of July to see what kind of dosage you're going to need to do to get the desired level of sedation in your pet. So of course, medical management is one option. The other thing is just make sure your pet has a safe place to go. Whether that's their kennel or a back room in the house that doesn't have any windows, a quiet place in the house. Make sure they have a place that they can escape. If you're going to be leaving them home alone, make sure that they're going to be secure. We have a lot of pets on 4th of July that will jump 6-foot fences because they're so upset about these loud noises. And a lot of pets will escape during that period of time. So make sure they're well contained, that they're in a safe and preferably a very quiet area. And I have a lot of owners that don't leave their pets alone on 4th of July because they know that it's a severe issue.
Now, we only have a little bit more time, and there's a couple of things that we need to get to. You have an open house coming up. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We did get a viewer question, and I just want to make sure that we answer these because we say we're going to answer them. So actually, it's Officer Chris Fisher, our California. He has a 1.5-year-old or 2 1.5-year-old pit bulls, a male and a female, and he wants to know, this is going back to the eating issue, I guess. They eat everything, he says. Wood chips, rocks, it looks like fabric, anything,
That's not good.
As well as dog food, of course. Wonders, is this normal for them
well,
to do that?
it's not technically normal. There's a condition called pica where dogs eat things that they shouldn't, and it can be almost anything. It typically is something puppies do, and a lot of dogs will grow out of it. The big key with that is avoidance. Don't let them in a situation where they can do that. So if your dog sneaks off and starts chewing on the couch, don't let him sneak off. Keep him in the room with you. Keep the room enclosed, or even keep him on a leash on your belt. When he's home alone, leave him in a kennel. until they sort of outgrow that behavior.
Okay.
It's not worth taking the risk.
Very good. I've learned that the hard way.
Right.
And now let's get to, you have an open house coming up this week.
We do. We're very
sure
excited.
That we talk about
yeah,
this.
we're very excited. My wife's going to be joining our practice.
Okay.
So we'll have Dr. Conn, and Dr. Conn now with my brother, my wife, and I, which is a little confusion. But we're happy to have her on board. It's going to be Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 25th from 4 to 7 p.m. Labyrinth Wineries are going to be there pouring for us. We have a live band, so it should be a fun time.
Very cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Triple Conn.
Yep, Triple Conn.
I like it. Well, thank you very much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Joel Conn, for joining us this morning. And again, if you do have any questions about your pet's health, you can email them to askthevet@kcoy.com.
And we will be right back with a check